diste tus flores, Aurea Dolores. Me cantaste las canciones de una paloma en luto. Le das tus flores, Aurea Dolores. Le cantas las canciones de una paloma en luto. No sabe que nadie te puede poseer. Donde hay amor, hay dolor. Dios te salve, luna hermosa. Dios te salve, luz del día. Dios te salve, sol y estrellas. Dios te salve, Aurelia Dolores. Dios te salve, Aurelia Dolores. Dios te salve, luna hermosa. Dios te salve, luz del día. Dios te salve, sol y estrellas. Dios te salve, Aurelia Dolores. Dios te salve, Aurelia Dolores.
There's always a sense of recording a show that is you're walking on delicate ground because you want to honor the source and the music and the performance that existed on stage, but also be sensitive to and be open to perhaps new interpretations of the material that a recording can capture.
Here we go, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
I didn't tell the truth the moment that I wed you, that I had another love. I never asked if you could love the land with me too. You don't have to answer yet. I would never force your hand, would never do that, Leslie.
Heartbreak country, cruel and violent, so much new to understand. Give me time to know this country.
I'll give you time.
Give me time, and while you're waiting, love me, love, and just be patient. Love me just as hard as you love this land.
I love you just as hard as I love.
Love me just as hard as you love this land.
I don't think Leslie really understands what Vic's love is for the land at the very beginning. When she falls in love with him, she doesn't realize how much he is tied to the history of what it means to be a rancher in Texas in the 1920s, and the pride and the dedication and the sacrifice that entails. So she is constantly surprised and challenged by his insistence on doing things the way they've always been done, on putting the land and the animals first, and it's a struggle for him to try to love his family and accept them the way they are, while adhering to the values that he's been taught by his grandfather and his ancestors. So it is a struggle, because how in a marriage do you say love me more than you love your history and your own lineage? So it's a big problem for them, for Vic and Leslie. but one that's I find so fascinating, and one that is rarely addressed in musicals.
Oh gosh, well, like I say, it spans 25 years, the story does, and it's set in Texas. So you've got your Texas, music, you got your hometown Texas music, got the blues, got everything. Got some good folk songs, got some Mexican folk songs, it was great. Mariachi, did some mariachi in it. There's 20s, we go through the 20s, we go through the 40s, so there's swing music. It takes us right up into the 50s, so there's even a little boogie woogie, Texas boogie woogie.
Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2.
I've been looking to move since I learned how to walk. Hey, you listening, Jay? I've been looking to move since I learned how to talk. Hey, I'm talking to you too, Bobby. I've been looking for what is mine. Always told don't cross that line. Don't step out of your box, boy, don't you dare. Well, I've been looking to jump out of my square. Packing groceries, life ain't that. All I got to show for that's this hat. I know I got a life to live somewhere. I'm gonna jump out of my square.
Oh, it's a remarkable gift to be able to document your musical, because it's there to for people who didn't have a chance to see the show, at least have a listening experience of what it was on stage. And the recording plays an awful big role in helping to have people get an understanding of what the piece is. And like I say, for the documentation of it all, it's really quite a great gift to have, and a great a blessing in many regards.
I think Michael John is one of our genuinely great musical theater composers. He's one of the very few composers we have working in the field right now who is both absolutely serious, complicated, and progressive in his music, and yet writes things that can bring in big audiences and touch the heart and define character. He's got everything that a great musical theater composer needs to have.
He wanted a girl who hates dusty roads. He wanted a girl who cries porcelain tears. He wanted a girl who'll put locks on the door to protect all those gemstones she's got in her ear.
The first time I heard he wanted a girl was Michael John singing it, and I just freaked out. The lyrics alone were amazing, but anyway, yeah, that's where I started, the very, very, very beginning.
Yeah. I was that girl who could keep up with him and would follow him anywhere he chose to ride. And we would ride, barreling through the gullies.
You have to think about different things in a studio than you do on a stage. I always found that doing it like I'm on the stage really helps. But actually, we did most all the takes I did at the beginning. Michael John, one of his notes is, and he gave it to Kate too, is, okay, we need to sing this more because now it's for the ears. The second he said it's okay to sing, it was okay to sing.
So I'll be the fiddle playing, bourbon drinking girl who learned to live with it.
That was very, very, very nice.
I was singing.
You were. You were.
I think we all believe in the extraordinary beauty and significance of this score. We all love this story and this piece, and it's the best way for people who didn't get to see the production to get acquainted with what an extraordinary job Michael John and Sybil did in adapting Edna Ferber's novel.
I knew I couldn't do it alone because I knew I wanted to make it epic, and I thought it's a little daunting. I wasn't sure how to get it into a proper, format. So I turned to my colleague and my friend. We worked together at New York University, at the Tisch School of the Arts in musical theater writing, master's program there, Sybil Pearson, a great playwright, and someone who I respected and admired greatly and still do, even after the collaboration. And I said, would you like to work with me on this piece called Giant? And Sybil read the book, and her reaction was the same as mine, pretty much, like, no, you know, but she did too, like I did. She went back and reread it, and she sort of got a glimmer of something that she thought she could make a musical out of.
I said, just a glimmer, because I really didn't know how to tame this, you know, enormous piece. And I said, he said, we're doing it. And I said, no, we're not. I said, you take a week. Please think about it. I want to do it. I think the glimmer might grow, but I'm not sure. So we sat there for the week, both of us knowing we wanted to do it.
And we proverbially held hands and dove off the deep end and began writing.
Something that really so frightened me when I first read it became something so challenging and very exciting to get to work on in the mornings.
Antes de que las nubes cubren la luna, antes de la cascada de lluvia, un beso, beso, hijo, un beso, beso, hija, la felicidad es tuya hoy. Antes de que las nubes cubren la luna.
We just did Beso Beso, and I have to say, you know, when you're doing the show, when you're on stage and the band was upstairs on the platform, they weren't surrounding you musically, so to have cans on and to be listening through it, I was just reminded of how you just want to like live in that string section, and yeah, you kind of get lost in it, which is, I think, perfect.
What are you, a fool? You just gonna stand there, let him kiss that girl? You forget your name, boy? That ain't gonna happen.
No, Jay. Play checkers, Jordy. Bésala.
Look at that. Don't you tell me.
I've done a few recordings over the years. It's a very different process. It's like you're in a booth, and I can see across the room, I can see Brian, and I can see Kate, but the mics are in their face, so it's not like you can make any eye contact, so it's just, you just have to really be focused into the mic.
My fingers found the farmer in the dale. Then they found a song my ma would sing. I wasn't any Mozart, but it seemed that I got born with fingers that could play most anything. The coolness of the ivory, the magic in a chord, the opening of floodgates, the sense of moving toward. I found my place in the world, practiced day and night. Yeah, I found my place in the world, felt safe, felt right.
You know, every emotion has to come through because you're painting pictures for people that can't see. So it's very different. I don't think I've mastered it in any way, shape, or form. So I hope I did okay today. Who knows?
I've never been a part of a project like this, 17-piece orchestra and a 20-piece cast and these huge, enormous, bombastic orchestrations. I'm totally stoked to do Dog Is Gonna Bark, my big song in Act 2. The band is insane for that on stage. I can only imagine what they're gonna do out there today.
The dog is gonna bark, you bet your ass he will. He's gonna chase and hunt you down, and then he won't do it here. He'll sniff you out and corner you. You'll be an easy mark. Tommy, traitor, the dog is gonna bark. You disrespect my wife. Greaser, Arab. Gotta wake up, gotta step to the door.
When you hear it in a studio for the first time, you hear all the orchestrations just clear, and you hear these singers singing into the most beautiful microphones, and just you know, as pristinely as possible. Like, I think it's in the song The Desert, I think. It's a song that Brian Darcy James sings, and there's a lyric, I need you, and it's just him alone at a microphone, and he's singing to his wife, and it's just, it just goes straight to your heart.
Primary as the sun coming up, simple as breathing, simple as air. I need you. That doesn't mean I know how to be.
I think the desert, which is just a phenomenal piece of theater, but also music as well, it was my favorite thing to record because, again, the connection that exists in the story on stage was very powerful, I think, for us as actors, for Kate and I as actors, but also from the feedback that we received from the people that are seeing it was also very palpable and powerful. So I wasn't sure how that was going to play out in a recording booth.
So much of it is dialogue into song, and I remember doing it on stage, and it's so linked with action and physical action. So I'm curious as to how we will put that together and how it will actually stand up in an audio recording. I'm sure it'll be great because, once again, Michael John has written such a wonderful background of music, a tapestry, and it's something that sort of carries the scene along like, you know, like water flowing.
But then I never knew depending on myself would someday cost me you. I need you. Primary as the sun.
Michael John, I think, is one of our best composers today, and to not preserve it would mean that it would be completely forgotten. So to have this recording, I think, is just a treasure for everybody.
I'm very blessed with so many of these remarkable performers who've poured their love and intelligence and their bodies and their souls into making our show. It's not just my show or Sybil's show or Michael's show or anybody's, you know, just one person's show. It's really, literally our show. Everybody has a part of it. And the composer has to feel very lucky and very, very blessed to have that opportunity, and I feel that way. I'm very humbled by it.
I'm not fearful of dying, no. I know the land will be protected now. My kids will stand and fight for me, and you'll be sitting right by me, shaking your head saying he'll never change. But know this certain truth, that if I'm to make it to 70,
I just literally finished the recording of the album, which, you know, followed the run. So you're catching me right at the very final moment of my experience with this show. So it's quite bittersweet. It's always hard to close a show that you love, and that was the case. I think I'll speak for everybody. You know, that we adore this show, and so knowing that we would have a chance to all come back together as a family, it's a bounty of a musical creation.
I think there's a piece of this show that will resonate with almost everybody. It was a very special experience. It was the kind of show that made me proud, that made me, that even just thinking about it right now, I think how lucky I was to be a part of it.
There are so many elemental, universal issues and truths in the play. I mean, it's about a marriage, and it's about parenting, and how to successfully rear steer children into the world. And it's also about how one stays committed to their own beliefs, but also flexible and generous enough to understand other people's points of view. What could be more accessible or universal or important than that?
I'll be sitting in a row filled with all kinds of people, all kinds of people, all of us there, watching our children throw their caps in the air, whatever they do, and not one of them is even faintly aware they're standing in someone's daydream, someone's daydream.
Wow. Spectacular. That was beautiful.